fullest of regards to the fellow members of the Alpha branch of the Utopia. And now, commencing video.
Hello there everyone, my name is the one and only Silverreploid CLE. How are you guys doing on YouTube? That's right, the Silverreploid / Inkling coming at you live looking fresh in the flesh on the net, stream or non-stream, and welcome back everyone to another video. First things first, I hope you guys are having a very blessed and safe Monday thus far, and let's just jump into our only reaction right here, which is another SCP, since it's been almost a minute since I reacted to an SCP related video, because well, the last time I reacted to it was like a week before last, because well, last week I was taking a break on my birthday, because last week was my birthday and whatnot. So now we're resuming reacting to some more SCP anomalies, and today we're getting back to where we left off in a simple manner, because well, last time I binge watched some of the SCP, because well, based on requests and based on my birthday that came about and whatnot. That's why we're getting back to going in chronological order, unless there's another request that you guys want me to check out SCP wise. But either way guys, with that being said, if you have any SCP episodes you want to check out and want me to binge watch a little bit, well, not a little bit but fully, but anyway guys, make sure you leave it in the comment section below and I'll refer to them, and the next time I react to some more SCP content, I'll check them out. And with that being said guys, today we're looking at SCP-3001 Red Reality. So we're basically seeing some red in this episode, so we're going to check out and see what's red about it. So before we get started guys, for those who are new to the channel, thank you all very much as always for tuning in, and of course giving the channel a very excellent glimpse. Your everlasting love and support are greatly appreciated here truly. Please do not hesitate to like this video if you enjoyed, leave your comments down below, and please don't forget to hit the subscribe button with the notifications activated. Also, big shout outs to members on behalf of the Utopian branch, aka the membership branch. If you also wish to become a member on behalf of the Utopian branch, please refer to my join button, review the perks, and when you join, the perks will be granted to you by yours truly. Make sure you also subscribe to SCP Explained for more their explanatory and informative anomaly animations. As always guys, I'm going to add the channel in the description, comments, and outro. And guys, with that being said, let's go ahead and check out Red Reality. We shall see how it goes, and that'll be all for today's reactions. Wrong clip now. Hi everyone, before continuing, it is with great pleasure to let you guys know that I made a cameo. If you'd like to receive a personal video shout out from me, whether it's your birthday, your wedding day, or if you even like to receive a congratulatory shout out for your gaming achievement, sporting achievements, social media account milestones, and so much more to help you to also start your cameo journey, please refer to my link located in the video description.
It goes without saying that the SCP Foundation archives are filled with some terrifying monsters.
No
Even
doubt.
the deadliest creatures can, in theory, be defeated, or at least soundly avoided. After all, they're just flesh and blood, or in some cases, metal or concrete.
So whether it's a coffee machine, whether it's a certain room, or whether it's a different realm and whatnot, they're still nevertheless in this era of reality considered to be anomalies nevertheless, dangerous or not.
But what if reality as you know it one day just broke? Or worse, you were transported to a reality so frightening and alien to our own that death seemed like the only escape, but you couldn't even give yourself that. This brings us to today's topic, the terrifying alternate reality of SCP-3001. The Foundation is no stranger to freaky alternate dimensions, but what was experienced by Joint Lead Researcher Dr. Robert Scranton at Site-120 is a truly unique nightmare. Co-managed by his wife, Dr. Anna Lang, Site-120 is a facility largely designated for research into SCPs with dangerous reality warping capabilities in order to mitigate future containment breaches. Reality warpers are among some of the more perplexing and dangerous SCPs, from the pocket dimension creating SCP-106 to the SCP creating Dr. Wondertainment and everything in between. Scranton and Lang's goal to further study such entities was an admirable one, if a little overambitious. And on January 2, 2000, during the testing of a new technology created by the Foundation's leading power couple, disaster finally struck.
Oh no.
Scranton and Lang had already been the brains behind one of the Foundation's most valuable tools in the fight against reality-bending SCPs, the Scranton Reality Anchors. Their follow-up, the Lang-Scranton Stabilizer, or LSS, likely would have been an even more advanced variant of their earlier invention, and should have been a huge success for the team. But things didn't turn out that way. Dr. Scranton and several other researchers were gathered in Reality Lab A performing routine tests on the LSS prototypes.
Right.
While other technicians ran diagnostics tests, Scranton stood at the control panel, the blinking red light above the console confirming that everything was going according to plan. But as anyone who's fallen victim to one of the Foundation's many anomalies will tell you, just because you've done everything correctly doesn't mean you're safe. Scranton began operating the machine, not knowing that something was rumbling up towards him from below. Without warning, a sudden, unexpected burst of seismic activity rocked the entire base. Researchers grabbed onto whatever was closest as the world shook around them. In his panic, Dr. Scranton clung to the LSS control panel as the seismic blast fried the circuits and kicked it into overdrive.
And guys, speaking of wires, if you are through with any electrical appliance, it is advisable to please unplug them by the time you're finished. This can apply to TVs that you're not watching. This can apply to your internet router that you're not using. If you're not using internet late at night and whatnot, it can apply to any electrical appliances. Just to keep yourself safe, I'd leave that out there for you guys, for those who are in possession of electrical appliances and whatnot, which I know for a fact you guys are. I just want to keep you guys safe.
There was a blast of magnificent blinding light, and when the rumbling stopped, not only was the doctor gone, he had been erased from reality.
Just being considerate, that's all.
The earthquake had caused a deadly malfunction in the machine meant to stabilize reality, and instead tore a rift in it, dragging the unfortunate doctor and the control panel into oblivion. His wife, Dr. Lang, and the many researchers who idolized him were devastated by his unexpected demise at the hand of what should have been his crowning achievement. The one silver lining was that this reality-ripping event had almost definitely eliminated the doctor quickly and painlessly. As far as the Foundation and his loved ones were concerned, Scranton's death had been immediate and complete, a luxury afforded to few Foundation employees who die anomalous deaths. But sadly, that isn't how Dr. Scranton's story, or the story of SCP-3001, ends. No, this is where it all begins. How do we know all this? In the hellish new place where Scranton had been transported, the control panel from the LSS that he'd been clinging to for dear life had been transported with him and continued to record audio data from this anomalous location. Not that Dr. Scranton realized it, not at first anyway. As far as he knew, he'd suddenly been transported into a pitch-black location. No sights, no sounds, no sense. True nothingness. At first, the doctor was confused. One second he was testing out his new technology, and the next he was quite literally nowhere. In spite of his current situation, the doctor was still an intelligent and rational man. He took a moment to compose himself, hoping that in time his eyes would adjust to the new darkness around him. But that moment never came. The darkness remained perfectly absolute. Much like the darkness in another reality-defying SCP, the deadly endless staircase known as SCP-087, the dark seemed thick, almost like you could touch it. The doctor, not wanting to give himself to despair and die in this impossible place, and with no other options seemingly available, began walking. Either he'd find his way out, or the Foundation would find him. No need to panic. It may have altered the doctor's temperament if he knew that the Foundation already assumed he was dead, and that no search party was going to come looking for him. Still, logic dictates that if a person walks for long enough, they're bound to find something. The problem Scranton was about to face was that SCP-3001 doesn't run by any kind of conventional logic. He walked and walked and walked, but he didn't seem to get any nearer to or farther from anything. But how could he even know? After all, in total darkness, there aren't any landmarks to assist in navigation. The doctor walked and paced and screamed for days on end, but he made no progress. He was alone in an empty world. He had no choice though. So he kept walking, and walking, and walking, for 11 days. During that time, he felt his hunger and thirst grow. He was in terrible pain from a mix of starvation and dehydration, but the release of death didn't seem to come for him. He was going to have to learn the rules of this new place the hard way, and it grimly dawned on Dr. Scranton that dying in this place might not even be the worst possible outcome. He paced and repeated facts to himself, hoping to ground himself in the moment and avoid the panic that could so easily set in. Name, Robert Scranton. Age, 39. Birthday, September 19th, 1961. Favorite color, blue. Favorite song, Living on a Prayer. Wife, Anna. Little by little, the words seemed to turn to nonsense in his mouth as the terror grew. Just as he felt like he was about to lose his mind, he noticed something. a small oasis in the endless darkness of SCP-3001. The glowing red light on the LSS control panel. Where had it come from? And how was it still recording? The doctor had no idea, but he was grateful for any kind of familiarity in this strange darkness around him. Perhaps the LSS could be the key to saving him, or at least figuring out what on earth was going on here. Whatever the case, there was no denying that having the panel here was better than nothing. At least, when it was found, if it was ever found, then people would know what had happened to him. As the days passed and he continued to mysteriously survive, Dr. Scranton deduced that one didn't need food or water to survive continually in SCP-3001.
His hunger and thirst
The location
grew,
had an anomalous effect on its
day.
inhabitants. As the days passed and turned to weeks of wandering in the darkness, Dr. Scranton further deduced that he was no longer in his home dimension. This was an entirely separate pocket dimension, much like the one possessed by SCP-106, but featureless, a perfect self-contained void. Now dimly illuminated by the red light of the panel, Dr. Scranton explored further into the void around him. He traveled for months on end, the pain of his deficiencies growing by the day, but found he was getting nowhere. All things considered, he wasn't even sure he was moving, or whether reality and darkness were swirling around him like a thick liquid. Rather than walking on a single flat surface, he was moving in all directions across a three-dimensional plane. The space-time continuum appeared to be entirely broken here, where movement is more defined by the conscious intention to move than any real geographical repositioning. Dr. Scranton knew that this place broke every single one of Kijel's laws of reality parameters. And from his years working with a plethora of reality warpers in Site-120, he had a theory for why this pocket dimension was so strange. It had an extraordinarily weak Hume field. Before we get back to Dr. Scranton's semi-living nightmare, we need a quick primer on Hume theory and why having a weak Hume field is such a problem. A Hume is a unit of measurement for the strength and amount of reality in a given location or being. In an area with an incredibly low Hume field relative to our world, such as SCP-3001, universe breaches and anomalous incidents rise significantly. At the time of his being trapped there, SCP-3001 had the lowest number of Humes in any recorded environment, making it a phenomenally anomalous zone. It was for this reason that starvation and dehydration never took hold of him, despite causing him great pain. And the worst by far was yet to come. Dr. Scranton wasn't trapped in this dimension for weeks or even months. He was trapped in the darkness for years, and it took a nightmarish toll on his body and mind. The small flashing red light on his LSS control panel became his only friend, and as the years drew on, he would hold entire conversations with his only source of illumination. He knew that his days were numbered. If he didn't escape the dimension within around 3 years, the Hume field would diffuse further, and he would be left in a truly horrific state. But based on how little headway he'd made in the time he'd been there, he didn't feel optimistic. He kept speaking into the recorder, if only to break the silence and prevent him from going completely insane. But even that would only hold
talking
it off
to ourselves
for so
can
long.
lead to
Alone and talking to
providing
himself
solace and
endlessly in the
whatnot.
darkness, Dr. Scranton could feel his mind slipping as the confines of the pocket dimension
So to speak,
constricted
our inner
and
conscience,
his body
but
began to
jeez.
change. The low Hume field slowly diffused his physical matter, destroying the physical integrity of his body, but never being merciful enough to actually let him die. In his haunting audio logs, the doctor described his hands as diffusing and thinning out like spider webs. Over time, there was less and less of him, and what was left wasn't entirely human. As Scranton's Hume level lowered to equalize with that of SCP-3001, the lines between his body and the LSS control console began to blur in a twisted marriage of warped flesh and machine. The Lang Scranton stabilizer was anything but stable. Before his mind and body became something else entirely, the doctor still had the presence of mind to finally realize how he'd come to be in this terrible place. The LSS had opened a wormhole known as a Class C broken entry into a paradoxical pocket dimension between layers of reality and taken him through it. He'd slipped through a crack in reality into absolute darkness, and now he was stuck with a fate far worse than death. How do we know any of this? Much like the event in the first place, it's a total accident. Testing superior reality-bending technology almost 6 years after the disappearance caused the sudden return of the missing LSS to Site-120's reality labs. The only trace of Dr. Scranton that it brought back with it was the blood and viscera that coated the console, much to the abject horror of his still grieving wife, Dr. Anna Lang. To this day, Dr. Scranton, formerly one of the Foundation's brightest minds, remains trapped in the nightmare of SCP-3001. His current condition, whether the Doctor is still alive after 20 years of being warped by the low-Hume field of 3001's darkened confines, is still unknown. But for the Doctor's own sake, we hope he's been dead for quite some time, because few things on Earth are as horrifying as the alternative.
So, apparently Dr. Scranton was a mix between missing in action, but at the same time, killed in action, due to the anomaly that transpired in the LSS control panel that he had in his lab for some time, and he got warped into the pocket dimension, and it's been there for a long duration of time. And like I said earlier, his survivability is impressively overwhelming, but at the same time though, it's rather like star-crossed in a way, considering that he had no way to get out whatsoever. He has been there for some time without ever having to circumvent the void and everything else. And his wife, Anna Lang, I can't imagine what grieving pain she's been going through after learning that her husband got warped into a circumvention-proof dimension that he wound up in, and apparently died there due to the Hume levels that were going haywire and everything else that transpired down the line. But yeah, imagine having that happen and you have no way to get out and whatnot. That's freaking scary, but deadly at the same time. So yeah, that right there is my reaction to SCP-3001 Red Reality. Guys, hope you guys enjoyed the reaction to this explanatory animation, and if you did, as always guys, please hit the like button, leave your comments down below, and please don't forget to hit the subscribe button with the notifications activated. Make sure you also subscribe to SCP Explained for more of their explanatory animations. As always guys, the channel is provided in the description, comments in the outro, and guys, my social media, Twitch, and my song list are provided in the description if you want to check those out. If you wish to request a personal video shout out from yours truly, please refer to my Cameo link located in the video description. If you also wish to commission a song made by yours truly that you can use for your content, etc., and projects, please refer to me via social media. We'll go from there for either song commissions. This is me, Silverreploid CLE, signing off for now. I love every single one of you guys. Stay fresh in the flesh and off the hook, and on behalf of Utopia, I'll catch every single one of you in the next video. Remember to stay hydrated and cooled off. Have a blessed and safe Monday, everybody, and as always, I will see you again soon. Much love. If you love music, and if you would like to partake in support of my channel by purchasing music, please refer to my song list down below. Hey guys, Silverreploid CLE here. I want to thank all of you for watching this video. Please smash on the like button, subscribe for more content if you're new, and please turn on the push notifications. And also, please make sure you check out my other videos or any video on display and show tons of love and support for not only me, but to those who are also involved. Have a great one, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!